If this video doesn't convince you to support the teachers strike, nothing else will. I read the Education Spending in Public Schools in Canada 2025 edition, which is a 38-page report, so you don't have to. These are the findings. We all know that Alberta is the richest province in GDP per person, but it spends the least on education. But what does that actually mean? Nationally, Canada spends about $16,600 per student after inflation. Key words, after inflation. Let's look at the 4 biggest provinces by student population. In Ontario, there's about 2.1 million students with a GDP per person of $59,703. In 2013, they spent $16,446 per student. In 2023, they spent $16,164. That's a small drop of about 1.7% after inflation. In Quebec, they have 1.2 million students. Their GDP per person is $48,665. In 2013, they spent $13,856 per student. In 2023, they spent $19,484, which is a huge 40% increase after inflation. British Columbia has about 5,777 students. Their GDP per person is $54,748. In 2013, BC spent about $12,589 per student. In 2023, they're spending about $13,753, which is an increase of 9.3% after inflation. Alberta has 750,000 students. Their GDP per person is $71,639, the highest in Canada. In 2013, they spent $16,343 per person. In 2023, they have fallen all the way down to $13,494 per student. But the scathing aspect of this is that it has been cut after inflation by 17.5%, being the biggest funding cut in the last decade of any province. Where Quebec went up 40%, Alberta has gone down 17.5%, which means that in 2023, Alberta spent 20% less than what was required for education. The richest province in Canada made the single biggest education cut in the last decade, stripping resources from classrooms, while every other major province either kept pace or invested more with inflation. So when you see the teachers are striking, this isn't about salaries. It's about a system where the richest province chooses to invest the least in its kids. This is not about a funding gap. This is neglect.